Welcome, dear viewers, to a world where darkness and mysticism meet in the creepiest forms. Here, in this abandoned corner of the internet, we will delve into the darkest corners of the human imagination. Prepare for awe-inspiring horror, as each of our stories is imbued with sinister secrets that lurk in the darkness of the night. Scary stories that remain beyond your imagination are waiting for you on our channel. Don't forget to turn on the lights, get comfortable, and hold on tight, because now we are going into the world of nightmares. Are you ready for it? Then welcome to our scary story. In a quaint town nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, a peculiar invitation was circulating. It bore no specific name or address, only the enticing promise of revelry and mystery. The cryptic message beckoned with an air of enigma, inviting those who dared to uncover the secrets that lay within. 5 friends, avid seekers of adventure and excitement, stumbled upon this enigmatic invitation. Sarah, a bold and adventurous photographer with a taste for the unknown, discovered the peculiar leaflet tucked between the pages of an old, dusty book in the town's quaint library. "Hey, check this out," Sarah exclaimed, waving the invitation in the air. "A night bar that opens only when the moon graces the sky. It sounds like an adventure waiting to happen." The group huddled around her, their curiosity piqued. John, a fearless thrill-seeker, was the first to respond. "Well, I say we give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen?" Nervous excitement danced in their eyes as they weighed the decision. Mark, the intellectual of the group, added, "It's definitely mysterious, but perhaps we should approach this cautiously. We don't know what we're getting into." Amidst the discussion, Emma, a free-spirited artist, chimed in. "Come on, guys. It's an opportunity for an amazing adventure. Let's live a little." The group eventually agreed to embark on this peculiar adventure, the allure of the unknown proving too strong to resist. As night draped the town in darkness, they set off towards the undisclosed location of the night bar, their anticipation growing with each step. The air was cool and crisp, carrying a faint scent of damp earth and fallen leaves. The friends followed a narrow, winding path through the forest, guided by the glow of the moonlight filtering through the branches above. They exchanged nervous glances, unsure of what awaited them. The path seemed to lead deeper into the woods, far from the bustling center of town. As they ventured further, unease settled upon them. Shadows danced in the moonlight, creating eerie silhouettes that seemed to watch their every move. At last, emerging from the woods, they stumbled upon an ancient-looking building shrouded in darkness. The exterior bore a worn, rustic charm that only added to the enigma. The sign above the entrance read simply, "The Midnight Haven." As they approached, the sensation of an invisible force warning them intensified. A chill ran down their spines, but they pushed aside their unease and mustered the courage to open the creaking door. Inside, dim candlelight flickered, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The scent of aged wood and a hint of something else, something metallic and unfamiliar, lingered in the air. The bar was seemingly empty, with an eerie silence that made the friends exchange uneasy glances. Sarah hesitated before finally speaking. "Hello? Is anyone here?" A figure emerged from the shadows, a tall, slender man with a well-trimmed beard and piercing eyes. He welcomed them with a warm smile, his voice oddly soothing, yet tinged with an unsettling calmness. "Welcome to the Midnight Haven. I'm Victor, your host for the evening. Please, make yourselves at home." Victor's presence was charismatic, but a sense of foreboding lurked beneath his hospitality. The friends exchanged wary looks but chose to proceed cautiously, finding seats at the bar. As the night unfolded, the friends began to sense an unusual energy in the air. It was as if the very essence of the place was alive, pulsing with an inexplicable force. The bar seemed to come to life with whispers of unseen beings and distant echoes that sent shivers down their spines. They ordered drinks and engaged in light-hearted banter, attempting to brush off their growing unease. However, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched by more than just Victor and his hidden clientele. Little did they know, the Midnight Haven held secrets beyond their wildest imaginings, and their adventure had only just begun. The night was young, and the darkness held mysteries that would soon reveal themselves, plunging them into a harrowing struggle for survival. The Midnight Haven exuded an enigmatic ambience that seemed to grow more pronounced with every passing moment. The friends, seated at the dimly lit bar, exchanged uneasy glances as they sipped their drinks. The patrons who had been present when they arrived appeared peculiar, their features shrouded in shadows, making it difficult to discern their true nature. Victor, the bartender, moved with an almost ethereal grace as he served the patrons. His movements were deliberate, almost hypnotic. Sarah, with her keen eye for detail, noticed his unusually sharp canines when he smiled. A chilling thought crossed her mind, but she quickly dismissed it as her imagination running wild in the eerie atmosphere. Mark, ever the analytical mind, began observing the surroundings more closely. He noticed peculiar symbols etched into the wooden panels of the bar and peculiar artifacts displayed around the room. Ancient-looking parchments and mystical talismans adorned the walls, hinting at the bar's deep-rooted secrets. As the night wore on, the atmosphere grew more suffocating, the air thick with an unexplained tension. Emma, sensitive to energy, whispered to the group, "Can you all feel that? It's like something is lurking in the shadows, something beyond our understanding." John, always the skeptic, chuckled nervously, attempting to lighten the mood. "Come on, Em, it's just an old bar with its own charm. Let's not get spooked by the decor." However, his bravado began to waver when he noticed the other patrons exhibiting peculiar behavior. Their movements were deliberate, almost synchronized, and their conversations were hushed, veering into cryptic whispers. They seemed to be fixated on the friends, their gazes intense and unsettling. Attempting to shake off the growing unease, the friends engaged in casual conversation, attempting to enjoy the night despite the palpable tension. But they couldn't escape the feeling that they were being drawn deeper into a web of darkness, their fate uncertain. Sarah decided to approach Victor, attempting to glean more information about the mysterious bar and its clientele. She leaned against the counter and asked, "So, Victor, what's the story behind this place? It's got quite the ambiance." Victor looked at her, his eyes piercing, and spoke in a low, melodic tone. "The Midnight Haven has been a sanctuary for those seeking solace in the shadows, a refuge for the night's lost souls. It has existed for centuries, hidden from the prying eyes of the world." His words sent a shiver down Sarah's spine, and she pressed further. "But what makes it so special? What kind of sanctuary is this?" Victor leaned in closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "It's a place where the darkness within us finds its kin, a place where the boundaries between the living and the nocturnal blur. You are about to discover its secrets, for better or worse." The cryptic response left Sarah bewildered, her mind racing with thoughts of what lay ahead. The others, sensing her unease, gathered around her. Victor excused himself, disappearing into the shadows, leaving them alone to grapple with the newfound revelations. As they sat in the dimly lit bar, contemplating their next movie, a distant, haunting melody began to play. The music seemed to emanate from nowhere and everywhere, its melancholic notes wrapping around them like tendrils of an unseen force. Their anxiety heightened as they realized they were no longer in control of the situation. The night had taken on a life of its own, and the Midnight Haven held them captive in its mysterious embrace. In the depths of the night, they were about to unravel the darkest secrets of the ancient bar, unaware of the horrors that awaited them as they ventured further into the abyss. Fear gripped the hearts of the friends as the realization dawned upon them. The Midnight Haven was not just an ordinary bar. It was a haven for true vampires, and they had unwittingly walked into a trap, now hunted as a source of sustenance. The haunting melody continued to echo through the dimly lit chamber, intensifying the sense of impending doom. The friends exchanged frantic glances, a silent understanding passing between them, that they needed to act quickly to survive this nightmarish ordeal. Without a moment's hesitation, they pushed their chairs back and stood, ready to face the looming threat. Emma, her eyes blazing with determination, whispered, "We need to stick together and find a way out of here. We can't let them feast on us." John nodded, his fists clenched in determination. "Right, let's make a run for it. Stick close, everyone. We fight our way out if we have to." As they advanced through the eerie hallways of the bar, they noticed the once friendly patrons revealing their true nature, vampires, their eyes glinting with hunger and malice. Panic surged through the group, but they stood their ground, refusing to be easy prey. The vampires lunged, teeth bared, but the friends fought back fiercely. Sarah brandished her camera, flashing the creatures with her camera's light to momentarily blind them, buying the group precious seconds to escape. Mark swung a makeshift wooden stake, striking one of the vampires and sending them recoiling in pain. In the chaos, Victor, the enigmatic bartender, emerged from the shadows. His once welcoming demeanor had transformed into a menacing sneer. "You dare defy the sanctuary of the Midnight Haven?" he snarled, revealing his fangs. The friends, cornered but undeterred, fought valiantly against the vampire horde. Emma's artistic spirit found expression in her agility and precision, dealing blows that kept the vampires at bay. John and Mark fought back to back, their strength and determination unwavering. Sarah, using her quick wits and the environment to her advantage, improvised weapons from the bar's furnishings, aiding her friends in their battle for survival. With every strike and dodge, the friends began to see a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. They could stand against the vampires. They could fight for their lives. But time was not on their side. The night was swiftly slipping away, and dawn would expose their vampiric foes to an incapacitating vulnerability. A strategic retreat became their only viable option. They managed to break through the encircling vampires, sprinting towards the exit, the haunting melody still playing in the background. The night air was a welcome relief as they burst out of the bar. However, the ordeal was far from over. The vampires pursued them, their menacing presence casting a long shadow over the escape. Their options were limited, but the friends refused to be overwhelmed. They sprinted through the town, racing against the encroaching dawn. The faint light on the horizon spurred them on, filling them with a newfound determination. They needed to find a place to hide until sunrise, a haven within the haven of shadows that could shield them from the approaching daylight. With adrenaline fueling their desperate flight, they scanned their surroundings, searching for any semblance of safety. Their breaths were shallow, their hearts pounded in their chests, and the dark secrets of the Midnight Haven continued to haunt them. As the first light of dawn threatened the horizon, the friends found themselves in a dire predicament. The relentless pursuit by the vampires had led them to an abandoned chapel, the sun's rays their only salvation. The ancient structure offered a flickering glimmer of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. Gasping for breath, they barricaded the chapel's doors, knowing that the vampires were close behind. Panic and adrenaline surged through their veins, but they were united by a common goal: to survive the night and escape this nightmare. "We can't let fear consume us. We need a plan," Mark urged, his voice resonating with determination. Sarah agreed, scanning the chapel for anything that could aid their defense. "We have to use the daylight to our advantage. We can't confront them head-on now, but we can devise a strategy for when they return tonight." Emma, her eyes reflecting the weight of the situation, spoke softly. "We need to find out more about this place, its history, and the vampires. There's a reason why they've been hiding here for centuries." John, clenching his fists, added, "And we need to make sure they don't harm anyone else in this town." With a collective nod, they began to unravel the chapel's secrets. The walls were adorned with faded murals and inscriptions in a forgotten language. Mark, ever the scholar, deciphered some of the symbols and uncovered a tale of darkness and sacrifice. The chapel had once been a site of ancient rituals, its history intertwined with the vampire's malevolent legacy. As they delved deeper into the grim past of the Midnight Haven, they discovered the key to the vampire's weakness: sacred artifacts hidden within the chapel. Symbols etched into the ancient artifacts were said to repel the vampires, weakening them. Their determination fueled by this newfound knowledge, the friends devised a plan to retrieve the artifacts before the sun set. They would use them to ward off the vampires and buy themselves enough time to escape the cursed town. As twilight approached, they armed themselves with the artifacts, positioning themselves strategically within the chapel. The eerie silence was shattered as the vampires closed in, sensing their prey. The friends stood resolute, ready to face their nightmarish adversaries. The battle was fierce. Each swing of a weapon met with a hiss of pain from the vampires. The sacred artifacts created a protective barrier, forcing the creatures to retreat. But their fight had only just begun. Amidst the chaos, Victor emerged, his eyes ablaze with fury. "You think you can escape our grasp? You are but mere mortals." Undeterred, the friends pushed forward, their teamwork and determination proving to be their greatest strength. They fought with everything they had, their bonds strengthening with each clash. Sarah noticed a hidden chamber and shouted, "There! That must be where they're coming from. We need to seal it off." With swift, calculated movements, they sealed the chamber, disrupting the vampires' reinforcements. The tide of battle began to turn in their favor. But as the night wore on, their strength waned, and the vampires pressed harder. The artifacts flickered, their power diminishing. Desperation set in, and the realization that they were running out of time loomed large. In a final, daring move, they gathered all their remaining energy and made a desperate lunge towards Victor. Emma wielded a relic with unwavering determination, driving it into the heart of their relentless foe. A deafening screech filled the air as Victor disintegrated into ash, leaving the remaining vampires weakened and disoriented. Seizing this advantage, the friends fought valiantly, using the artifacts to repel the vampires. As the first rays of dawn pierced the darkness, the vampires retreated, their strength sapped by the encroaching sunlight. The friends, battered but alive, emerged from the chapel, victorious in their battle for survival. In the aftermath, they uncovered the horrifying extent of the Midnight Haven's secrets, its true purpose, the countless lives claimed, and the suffering endured within its cursed walls. With the town now safe from the vampire menace, they made a pact to keep the events a secret, sparing the world from the horrors they had faced. They left the town, forever haunted by the memories of that fateful night. Their harrowing ordeal had forged an unbreakable bond between them, a bond that would carry them through the darkest moments of their lives. The Midnight Haven had forever changed them, but together they faced the future, ready to conquer whatever shadows may come their way.